Hello, this is Lavinia at Cross Keys Crafts. Hopefully with a quick card today. Call me absolutely mental, but I'm going on holiday tomorrow. I haven't packed yet. It is 8 p.m. actually. It's just turned 8 p.m. The night before my holiday, and I decided to record a video. I'm just being conscious. I like to post my 2 videos a week, and I'm going away for 2 weeks just to visit my family in Germany, and I did not want to leave you with these 2 videos. I've recorded a few ahead, but I don't want to stress about having to come back and either having to post something really quickly or not having anything to post. And I've also been conscious that in the past few videos I've done a lot with fan folds, and I've been neglecting my Lavinia stamps just a little bit. So I thought I come in with a, as I said, hopefully quick video. This is inspired by 2 videos. One is actually as of today. Today is the 8th of October when I'm recording this. And Jo Rice just invented a new technique which she called ombre stamping. And what it is she stamps in 3 different but similar colours that gives a sort of ombre effect. And the other video, well, I haven't really watched it. I just saw the thumbnail, and it's by Jenny Carr Designs. And I just saw the picture of flowers cut up in 3 panels on a card, and I took a screenshot because I really liked it. So I'm going to link to her video below, but I did not check how she created it. I will make this basically my own. Admittedly, my Lavinia stamps are not in very good order at the moment. I've got some in boxes that need to go back in my folders. I do have a video up here how I theoretically store my Lavinia stamps, but yeah, never mind. So for this card, I have chosen these 3 stamps. It's the lavender, bluebells, and field grass, and I'm just going to work with these today. They have got similar height. I like the fact that with the bluebells you've got a bit more solid areas, sort of medium solid, and then you've got the open ones with these. So I think they will all go nicely together. And all I'm doing on this card here, on the piece of card, this was actually a folded card. I just found it in my stash. This would be, I assume it's 4 1/4 by, bear with me, just under 6 inches, so probably a shopboard card I had. Maybe I created it my own, but it doesn't really matter. I just want these panels to be sort of landscape. I will chop them up, I will mat them, and I want this to go onto a 5 by 7 card anyway. And all I want to do here really is just to stamp these. And I've chosen 3 colours. I don't have the full range of VersaFine Clair. And you can, by the way, you can also stamp in other inks. You could stamp in the Element inks. The stamping won't be as crisp as with the VersaFine Clair, but it does work. So I have chosen these 3 here, which is the Warm Breeze, which is like a turquoise colour. Then I've got the Very Peri, which obviously is periwinkle, and then I've got the Fantasia, which is a purple. And I thought these would go nicely together. And I think I'm starting with the more open stamp, which is the Field Grass, and I'm going to use the Warm Breeze for that. And I'm just basically creating a backdrop for the other flowers. And I want to also stamp these on different heights. So I'm conscious I will cut something off the top and the bottom. I really don't want to overthink this, where I'm placing them. I've also got one of my oldest acrylic blocks here, because some of mine have got AWOL. So I think I will just do a little bit more here, coming in at a different angle, just to fill in some areas. And I've also got a bit of double stamping going on here. I might have just slipped, but I'm not bothering about that. This is supposed to be really easy. So, and then I'm just thinking here, I think, which ones do I want in which colour? I think I will do the lavender in the Very Peri. I'll just have a trial run there on the side here, whether I like that or whether I want it the darker blue. No, I will do the bluebells in the Very Peri. Because I think with the bluebells being very solid, I think if I did them in the darkest colour as well, this would be a bit too much. So just really overlapping this. Obviously, they get a bit lost with the field grass, but it's not about that, the card. It's just to put some colour down, put the motifs down. Going a little bit higher here. Trying to vary the angle a little bit. I might need another field grass here, but as I said, I don't want to do it too regularly, because then I think that always shows a little bit. I should probably need something a bit higher here as well. So now the Fantasia for the lavender, and because that's in the foreground, that I will have definitely lower, but I'm trying to cover here where the field grass is a bit high. So basically filling in some areas here. I'm trying not to overlap the lavender with the lavender, but with the others I think it'll be fine. So I'm actually going to the edge here as well, or over the edge. So, and I can see where the bluebell is sort of hanging in the air, same with the field grass. So I think I'll come in again, maybe with some second generation stamping. No, I think I will just come in with a field grass. So I'm just filling up a little bit at the bottom. As you can see with most of my videos, I haven't tried this before. I'm just trusting my senses here and my gut instinct. And the field grass is fabulous here, that area here, to basically fill in the bottom and disguising where the other flowers are a bit in the air. There's a little bit there. I could come in with another flower, but I think that'll be fine. So I'm just looking whether I need another flower on that height. I tell you what though, I think once I've cut the panels, I will come in with a butterfly or a bee. I think that would be lovely. So I'm just leaving this to dry for a moment, and then I'm going to cut the pieces. So I've got my guillotine out, and this panel, as I said before, is 5 3/4 in width. And I'm not very good with math and when it comes to inches, but I figured out that if I have got the individual panels at 1 3/4, that would give me 3 panels and maybe a bit left over. I hope I'm not doing this wrong. So what I will actually do is check the 1 3/4 here and just cut the panels individually. I could mark it. So let me just say, tell you what, I'm going to mark it. I normally just go for it, but I'm feeling a bit like I shouldn't do it. So if you've got 6 inches, it would be so much easier. You can have panels that are 2 inches wide. But let me just check that. So that would be 1 3/4, 1 3/4, and 1 3/4. Now I've still got a little bit left over, so I'm just going for it now. So could probably go a bit wider. Yeah, tell you what, I'll try that. 1 7/8. Can always cut it down if the last one's shorter. 1 7/8. Yeah, I've got plenty there, so I can chop this down as well. So I did not want to really cut in between those panels, so the pattern is still continuous here, if you know what I mean. So I haven't lost anything on the middle here. So I'm also, pardon me, tidying up the top a little bit here, because that's where I had the score line. So I will actually cut these down to 4 inches. So I haven't quite figured out whether this is the right measurements for the 5x7 card, but I'll just go with it at the moment. I would now like to create a mat for all these panels. If you haven't got any coloured cardstock or nothing that matches, you can create your own just with a VersaFine. Just swipe it on a piece of paper, let it dry thoroughly. Or if you've got the Elements inks or anything water soluble, you could also do some ink smooshing and some ink blending, all these things. But I actually have got a colour here which is like a mauve or periwinkle, somewhere in between, and I will just use that. This is just a scrap, and this happens to have a similar colour actually to the very peri. So all I'm doing at the moment is I'm going to stick these down, leaving enough space all around so that I can cut a nice mat. I'm leaving that to dry for a moment now, and then I'm cutting these out with a nice border. If I say nice, probably like 1/4 of an inch. Yeah, I think that would look nice. This cutting is actually not that easy to show you, just because of the lighting here. But if you glue this down straight at the top, you actually have got the right angle here. But I'm focusing actually now on my plastic guard here, and what I do is I align the white panel here on the inside of my guard. Let me just lower this. So on my trimmer here, I've got the guard here, and this is where I focus on, and then that gives me an even edge. And once I've done this on one side, so I can now see that this is straight. Hold it down, by the way, as well. If you let go of it, it wobbles, and then you don't get a straight cut. So, and if I cut this down now, it might actually be less than 1/4, but it doesn't matter as long as I've got a nice edge here. Then I can align this at the top. No, I can't. Let me just cut this off because they're not all at the same height. So I need to quickly cut that off with the scissors. And now I can lay this flat here, and again focus here on the plastic guard on the inside, and then cut it there. And then I've got an even edge all the way around. So I quickly do this with all the panels off camera. I've cut all my panels, and I've also cut my card base, which is 5x7 inches. I've shown this one before. I take the A4 sheet, and on this time I actually scored it at 1 1/4. I folded it, burnished it, and then I cut the excess off to create the 5x7 card. I find I get the better result then. So you've got options here now. First of all, make sure they are in the right order again to have the continuous picture. Yep, so they need to go this way around again. I think it's actually nicer for the eye if you've got the continuous picture, although obviously it's interrupted. So you've got options now. You can either place them all at the same height, and I think that's what Jenny did at Jenny Card Designs, but she had a 3-part sentiment that was on different levels, so like here, here and here. And this is what gave me the idea to actually place these at different heights. So have that one here in the top left corner, this one here in the bottom right corner, and have this one sort of in between to have this sort of cascading look. I know obviously then the picture is not continuous anymore, but I think it brings some interest to the card. I have got another little strip here left over from the background, and I'm contemplating whether I want a sentiment on here. If I do, I might change my mind about this actually again and have this again on one height. Yeah, and as I said before, I think this could do with a little butterfly or a bee on there. So I'll have a think quickly off camera how I want to place this on here, and then I'll come back. I have added my little bee here, but when I was looking for sentiments, I found this stamp here in my stash, Believe in the Magic. I think it's called something Make a Wish. I'll put all the links in below. So I thought this is an ideal moment for me to use my little fairies that I haven't used yet. They're called 3 dancing fairies, I think. And I've stamped 2 of those on the other 2 panels. And I've coloured this one in with a yellow shimmer pen, and then I added my clear overlay. But that doesn't really show the shimmer there. And I remembered a technique I haven't used before, but I'm sure I've seen Joe Rice use this, and that is to use my Kuretake pen together with the shimmer pen. So I'm using my shimmer pen here, and I'm picking up colour from my Kuretake pen to colour in the wings. And it's really just a hint of blue. If I don't have enough, I can pick up a little bit more and just fill that in. You could go onto the wings with the Kuretake pen and then go over this, but I think this is just enough. I can use this one a little bit more, make sure I've got more ink again coming out, and then just pick this up. I can actually see it on the tip here, so I just want a little bit on the bee as well. And I think it picks it up nicely to go with the blue flowers as well. I hope I'm in focus here. My eyes have just gone a bit blurry, so I might not just see it on the screen. And I really just want the hint on there. I have a bit more here on the other fairy. Yeah, it's really just a hint. So I can clean this one up here, make sure I've got no blue left on the tip for my next project. And again, I'm cleaning this up here so that I don't have too much shimmer on my next project, although a little bit shimmer doesn't hurt. So again, I'm leaving this to dry, and with this sentiment stamp sentiment stamp, I'm just going to cut these into strips, and I'm just using the top 4 lines, which says believe in the magic as fairies do, and they will appear to watch over you. They dance on the flowers and sing songs of love, spreading joy and laughter from the stars above. And I thought this would be really nice for this. So I quickly do this off camera. I will just cut it with my guillotine, and then I will arrange my panels and show you the finished card. So my card is finished. I'm really chuffed with this. I think it's so pretty. I only ended up using 2 of these lines, and I also backed them with a darker purple cardstock, just to give them to make them a bit more solid, and so the writing wouldn't get lost on the background here. I started cutting them with my smaller guillotine, but it was getting a bit wonky anyway, so I just used my scissors in the end, and the same for the background, and it was for the mat, and that was just so much quicker. And I put the sentiments here on some foam strips, and yeah, I went for my first idea to arrange them in a sort of cascading look. And yeah, I think this is so pretty and so lovely and so simple to do. All in all, with looking for sentiments, struggling a little bit with the foamed pads and everything and the guillotine, it took me 50 minutes So once you know what you're doing, you can easily recreate this. I don't think that's too much for a card that looks like this. And you could mass produce it as well, and obviously choose the colours that you like. So I think this is really, really lovely. And if you think so too, you might want to give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of what I'm creating, you might want to subscribe to my channel. I'd be very happy about that. And I'll see you soon with another video.